Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, June 4th, 2017, before Game 2 of the NBA Finals, it was a mainstream storyline that retired NBA basketball player Derek Fisher in a DUI accident. And what I'm going to show you is this is another ritual shaming, and it's a major tribute to LeBron James. I'm also going to revisit a video I did a couple years ago, why Derek Fisher was fired on the 39th day of the year by the New York Knicks. He was a coach for a moment with the New York Knicks. But let's get to why this accident reporting, or this DUI accident reporting, June 4th, 2017. This is a ritual for the NBA Finals and LeBron James. Derek Fisher had this incident in Los Angeles where LeBron's home was supposedly just burglarized and spray painted with racist graffiti. Derek Fisher, longtime Los Angeles Laker, also played 2 years with the Golden State Warriors, who are in the finals. So notice right away, Derek Fisher is 42 years old. This number that's stamped all over Black history and oftentimes is coded into propaganda that's meant to create negative racial sentiments. And of course, people of all skin colors, religions get DUIs. But we see routinely during the NBA playoffs, the NBA finals, we see the shaming of black men again and again, and it isn't arbitrary. We're going to get to it. This story directly connected with LeBron James's burglarized home in the same 213 area code. Look at this. His birthday's August 9th. And there's a lot of things that are special about the August 9th birthday, but right away, just in numbers, you can write that date 8/9 or 9/8. And let's not forget, this is the NBA, where the star of it right now is LeBron James, a.k.a. King James, who won last year in his 13th season in the NBA Finals on the real King James's birthday. The Warriors lost with 89 points, just like the gematria of King James. And again, it was LeBron's 13th season. King James was made King of Scotland at 13 months of age, which just goes to show he was nothing more than a puppet. Of course, the word religion also has gematria of 89. King James has a Bible named after him. This practice of coding numbers into words is part of the Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah, which is very much a way of life, very much a religion. August 9th, you can also flip that date around. It could be 9/8, as they'd write it in Europe and many other parts of the world. 9/8's like National Basketball Association 98. 2 years ago, the first Warriors and Cavs NBA Finals, it went to overtime 98-98, exactly 98 days after the Warriors and Cavs had last played in the regular season. LeBron had his season high in that game. It was February 26th, 2015. LeBron scored 42. The number retired with the Warriors and the Cavs for Nate Thurmond, who dropped dead 27 days after LeBron scored 27 in Game 7 last year. Think about it. The Warriors beat the Cavs. Then the Cavs beat the Warriors. Then Nate Thurmond, who had his number 42 retired with both teams, drops dead. LeBron has chosen one tattooed on his back. I want you to see that the word chosen and chosen one both have gematria of 98. LeBron has this tattooed on his back. Chosen with the number 1. The chosen one. And for the record, chosen one the small way sums to 44. LeBron scored 44 in Game 1 2 years ago, where it went to overtime 98-98. So adding insult to injury, from Derek Fisher's car accident, DUI, reported June 4th, 2017, to his upcoming birthday is 66 days, or 9 weeks and 3 days. Again, LeBron equals 66, LeBron James 66, they call him the Don 66. Last year, he became the first player to go to 6 straight finals since 66, when Bill Russell did it. 666. He wore number 6 in Miami. 666 is the number of the beast from Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible. And number of the beast sums to 62. The beast rules for 42 months in Revelation. LeBron James and Bill Russell both sum to 42. And understand this is all biblical. King James was born in 1566, has a 66 book Bible named after him. New Testament begins with the 42 generations to Jesus, ends with the 66th book of the Bible. New Testament equals 42 and 66, just like LeBron James. Understand, these athletes, they are born, bred to be. They are named accordingly. They are birthed accordingly. We've talked about how LeBron's born on December 30th, 12 plus 30, 42, the only date in the calendar year, number stamped all over black people. That's Tiger Woods' birthday. That's Tyrese Gibson's birthday. There's actually a number of black celebrities that have that birthday, and it isn't arbitrary. It's a reason they're chosen, like LeBron James, the chosen one. Let's not forget the word king in Jewish gematria is also 66. In light of LeBron James, King James, they're calling him the Don, like the Godfather. If you count the full span of days from the accident to his birthday, it's also 67 days. The word king has gematria of 67 as well. King of the West. The Warriors won 67 games to win the West this year. There's a whole lot more. Look at the name gematria of Derek Fisher, 108. Gematria is geometry within language. Notice geometry is 108 with the alphabetic order forwards and back. Perfect symmetry. An important concept in geometry. 2 years ago, game 1, it went to overtime 98-98. The Warriors won with 108 points in game 1. Golden State Warriors 108. I noticed in game 1 and game 2, Kevin Durant scored the 108th points for the Warriors in both games now. Documented that on the blog. His birthday, August 9th, it's the 221st day of the year. I talked about how yesterday before the game, the over-under was 221 points. Not an arbitrary number. The number that represents the Bavarian Illuminati, which is obsessed with 13. Last year, LeBron won in his 13th season. There's symbolism all over the dollar bill, which has 13 all over it. 221. We saw Donald Trump become president 221 days after his June 14th Flag Day birthday. And we're going to talk about Flag Day because the flag was sewn in Philadelphia at 239 Arch Street. The flag's currently 239 years old. It's going to turn 240 if, or during the time of the NBA Finals, if it makes it past Game 5. We're going to talk about that in a moment. August 9th is also the day that leaves 144 days left in the year, the number for time. All of this comes back to time. I'm explaining the same things again and again and again. Derek Fisher used to coach the New York Knickerbockers, who the Cavs began their season against, blowing them out by 29 points, beating them 117-88. That was game 1 of this season where I said it would be Warriors and Cavs. Again, it was all foretold after game 1, the opening night of the regular season. Cavs winning by 29, Warriors losing by 29. Steph Curry scoring 29 points on his 29th birthday Pi Day, when pi equals 29. And pi represents cycles and circles like time. Things I've been explaining. Got to use your mind to understand this subject. The reason I have so many haters is because there's so many mindless drone zombies in this world. If you guys don't know why they're giving you all these zombie movies and zombie stories, it's to make fun of us. You're living in the land of the Walking Dead, the mindless zombies, the people who have no ability to think. All they can do is what they're told. You know? The TV is their god. So real quick, Derek Fisher, coach of New York, fired on the 39th day of the year where everything in New York is 39. This is all about time too. Clockwork equals 39, New York 39, NYC 39, NY 39, Empire 39, MSG 39, G-Men 39, 39-story United Nations, New York established on a date with 39, numerology. The name George equals 39. The name Clinton equals 39. The first governor of New York who was born in 1739. The name Madison equals 39. Madison Square Garden. He made 39 proposals on a date with 39, numerology, that became the 10 Bill of Rights. If you write out 10 as a word, it sums to 39, like the 10 Commandments from the 39 books of the Old Testament. This code, it's all Jewish. Gematria is from the Old Testament. Kabbalah, based in the Torah, from the Old Testament. It's all Jewish knowledge. Major coding system. By the way, 666, the number of the beast, as I've explained so many times, has everything to do with time as well. It's all about time in this world and the relationship between the earth and the sun. With regards to Derek Fisher being born on the day that leaves 144 days left in the year, coaching the Knickerbockers, getting fired by the numbers like clockwork. Remember, the NBA Finals equals 666. So does basketball game. So does trilogy. So does prophecy. They're all 666. They're all related. You got this theme song for the NBA Finals from Kendrick Lamar. Honestly, I never really listened to Kendrick Lamar before, but since they're playing his music, I thought maybe there were some clues there. I was checking out his songs. I listened to like the first 4 or 5 songs popular that came up. In 3 of those 4 or 5 songs I listened to, he said the word prophecy. You know, these people are putting the truth in front of your face. Prophecy 666, trilogy 666. Very special number. You know, about 2 months ago, I did a video teaching people how to calculate the number of the beast 666. And I explained in that video in real time, I said, if you learn this knowledge, you'll see how often headlines such as CNN code 666. And I said, let's just practice. And then I loaded up the CNN page. You know, it's like a 40-minute video. I just load up this page, doing it all in real time. First headline we decode. What do you think it's summed to? 666. You learn this code, you see through what's going on in the world. See through the fake news, the scripted news, like this story right here. Derek Fisher arrested for DUI after car crash. Girlfriend Gloria Govan uninjured. And if you read the article, they mentioned that his girlfriend's the ex of Matt Barnes, who plays for the Warriors, who we'll talk more about in a moment. But look at this. June 4th, 2017, the date of the news, date with 47 numerology. Here we are in the 47th season of the modern NBA. 71st total season, 47th season of the modern NBA. Notice DUI has Gematria 47 to go with the date numerology, just like the name Fisher. Let's not forget Ohio equals 47, Akron, Ohio 47, 47th season of the Cavs. The Freemason compass, which is what it's all about, set at 47 degrees. And why? It's because the tropics of this earth in the northern and southern hemisphere are 47 degrees apart, and they measure the solstices that measure time. The word time equals 47. The word beast equals 47. The number of the beast is 666. You see? Here's the compass, each leg kicked out at 23.5 degrees. The Freemasons have the 47th problem of Euclid about how to build a square foundation using the pole star, which is the North Star. Pole star equals 47, foundation 47. That's how our language was built, on this numerical code. As for the name of the girlfriend he's with, Gloria Govan, GG. Gloria Govan equals 58, like Golden State, like Oakland, like Freemasonry, like Secret Society, like Anuit Coeptus, like In God We Trust, like Solomon's Temple, like Herod's Temple, like Jerusalem, like Craftsman. King James, who was a Rosicrucian and a Freemason, dead at age 58. He died 84 days before his upcoming birthday. King James, born in 84. This woman's name, Gloria Govan, also sums to 121 like Warriors, like Revelation. Last night, Steph Curry hit the deepest 3 of the game, about 10 feet behind the line for the 121st points. All technology, all script. So there's Derek Fisher and the woman he supposedly crashed with. Look at this. DUI equals 213. Racism equals 213. The NBA Finals equals 213. This story happened in the 213 area code. Remember, LeBron James, game 1 of the NBA Finals was his 213th playoff game all time. That game was 213 days from his upcoming birthday. June 1st, also the day that leaves 213 days left in the year. 213, number coded all over Black history. The first year of the NBA Finals, 1986, that's the year Len Bias died 213 days after his birthday. A few years later, Reggie Lewis collapsed in a game. He would die later. In that game, 213 combined points, because all of these games are scripted to the point, always have been, and they're always ritual. And it's always sick. It's always satanic. A little more about 213 in Black history. This should say it all right here. Black History Month, 213. And you know what this is really likely all about? Freemasonry has stolen all of its stuff from the history of the past. And again, a lot of it comes from the Old Testament of the Bible. In the Bible, there's Nimrod, the hunter, who built the Tower of Babel, that offended God, that caused God to split up the people of the world and make multiple languages so people were confused and couldn't come together. Nimrod was black. You see? The mighty hunter Nimrod. The name Nimrod in Jewish gematria equals 213, just like DUI, just like racism. But notice Black History Month, 213. 213. Here's another one. Black Panther. The Black Panther Party, established in Oakland by Huey P. Newton. Remember this. Don't ever forget this right here. Huey P. Newton, 58. Just like Oakland. Just like Golden State. Well, when you spell correctly. Again, like Freemasonry, Secret Society, all the things I named off. Don't ever forget this. Cam Newton, the quarterback with the Black Panther on the side of his helmet. Huey P. Newton, 58, established the Black Panther Party in Oakland. Cam Newton lost in the Super Bowl just outside of the Bay Area with a Black Panther on the side of his helmet as the 58th quarterback to ever start in a Super Bowl. And Huey P. Newton is related to him. Think about it. You don't think these sports are all scripted? Oh boy. You know, again, if there were intelligent people in the world, if people were generally intelligent, I wouldn't have any critics. And I wouldn't have had any critics since 2013 when I got here, because all I've been showing since I showed up are nothing but indisputable facts that continue to stack on top of each other. And just in case I forgot, one more time, Black Panther 213, like Black History Month. Tupac Shakur, whose mother was a Black Panther, he died 213 days after the release of All Eyes on Me on 213, February 13th, Black History Month. He died September 13th, 13/9, the perfect date for Tupac Shakur to pass by the numbers. 13/9, 139. Just like Freemasonry. And there's a million more things to the death of Tupac Shakur, one of many to die by the 213 code. So also with regards to Fisher, the name has gematria of 38 like finals. Something else I noticed, Stephen Douglas Kerr, former player, now coach of the Warriors, returned the same day as this DUI. Derek Fisher, former player and coach, now retired. Notice the name Fisher has gematria of 97, like Steve Kerr's full name. And I talked about this. 97's the 25th prime number. If the West wins the finals, it'll be the 25th championship of the modern era. We just saw the Patriots win the 25th Super Bowl for the AFC to close out the 97th season of the NFL. Bill Belichick, 97. 97, the 25th prime. 2/5, the AFC won the 25th Super Bowl. The Patriots won his 25th playoff game, or Tom Brady did, with the 25-point scripted comeback that couldn't have been any more obvious. Complete mockery of the fans. Bill Belichick equals 97. So I'm watching this. I'm going to show you something about Game 5 and why we could see the Warriors potentially close it out before Game 7. I'm going to give you a narrative for Game 5 or Game 7. I'm really torn on these finals, but I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. Coming up. Also, this part about the 101 freeway. Oh, Truth Seeker, this is all finals ritual. Finals 101. And remember, the team that won it first, the NBA championship, was from Philadelphia. They were the Philadelphia Warriors. They won it in 1947. We just saw that whole ritual with Rihanna 101 days after her birthday at Game 1. Freeway 101, NBA Finals ritual. Again, Fisher's 42, born in 74. Before this even happened, I mean, how many times have I told you guys about 42 and 74, right? How many times? 42 generations to Jesus, who, if he was a real person, was likely a black man, dark-skinned man. 42 has gematria of 74. We saw Muhammad Ali, who got Parkinson's age 42. We saw him change his name to Muhammad Ali at age 22. Notice when you write out 42, it sums to 74. Muhammad equals 74. You got to know this about Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, 42, just like LeBron James. Last year, Muhammad Ali, dead during the finals. Ritual for LeBron. In the Cavs, he became boxing champion in 64. The last year, Cleveland had won a pro sports championship. But anyway, when you write out 42, sums to 74, like Muhammad, Jesus, cross, killing. Gospel equals 74. The gospel begins with the 42 generations to Jesus. The Egyptians have the 42 laws of Ma'at. Fisher, 42, born in 74. They love to do this. Muhammad Ali, born in 42, dead at 74. 3 days after him, Kimbo Slice, dead at 42, born in 74. You see? Now this year it's Muhammad Ali. And Kimbo Slice and Muhammad Ali news came during the NBA Finals last year when LeBron James was there. Again, all of this is biblical. 42 generations to Jesus, the Savior, Savior 42, Sin 42, New Testament 42. The New Testament's 27 books. Begins with Matthew, which equals 27. The first of 27 books in the New Testament. Last year, LeBron scored 27 in Game 7, 27 days before the death of Nate Thurmond. Notice Cavs is also 27. If you write out Thurmond, sums to 113. Talk about that in a second, but notice the 103. That's the 27th prime. LeBron scored 27 in Game 7, the Cavs' 103rd game of the season, 27 days before Nate Thurmond dropped dead at age 74 like Muhammad Ali. Again, that's the killing number. Said in 2014 why Muhammad Ali would die at age 74. This story, again, it's about planting seeds in people's minds, enforcing stereotypes. The media, so racist against black people, presents them as, dangerous, violent, irresponsible, over-sexualized. This is just what this factors into, crazy, fiery car accident, rolled his car over. It's all bullshit. Just wait. As soon as the finals are over, we'll probably have another Draymond Green shaming story. He's someone that they routinely use. The son of Magic Johnson. That's why he played at Michigan State. Most of these players, their fathers were in the league. LeBron James's father is Nate Thurmond. That's why Nate Thurmond was murdered after LeBron won the finals for Cleveland. By the numbers. But notice, racial slur 42 like nigger, like LeBron James, what was supposedly spray painted all over his house. Also, Derek Fisher, his full name, Derek Lamar Fisher, 81, like ritual, forwards and back. Notice car accident has this gematria of 81 as well as 216, the Cleveland area code. Last year, Game 6 combined 216 points, the last in Cleveland. Interestingly, the name Derek Lamar Fisher, also 153, which connects to the Cavaliers, but of course also the Holy Bible. All of this is biblical. The number 153, it's the 17th triangular number, which is also huge in the NBA. Remember, NBA 17, Celtics lead was 17 championships. Ohio, the 17th state, the Cavs, the 17th team to join the NBA. Here we are in 2017. After Game 1, they said LeBron was 1-7 in Game 1s in his career. 1-7 in 17. Scripted by the numbers. The name Derek Lamar Fisher also has gematria of 90, like Cavaliers, like Knickerbockers, who he once coached. Again, this ritual has a lot to do with LeBron James, the star of the Cavs. You can look up Derek Fisher's playing career. 2004-05 season, 2005-06 season, he was with the Warriors. Played 74 games the first time around, 82 the next, 156 total games. Let me see if I can remind you something else about by the numbers. Remember when the Warriors had a 28-game winning streak that was snapped? They were chasing 33 set by Jerry West and the Lakers. Notice 28 and 33 both summed to 156. They're the only numbers that do. Both streaks were snapped by the Milwaukee Bucks, 156. And you might recall that the Milwaukee Bucks fans were given shirts that night to snap the streak before the game was even played. All scripted. Jerry West, who has the 33-game mark, the head of operations for the Warriors now. If you don't know the NBA logo, that person dribbling the basketball, that's supposed to be Jerry West. Jerry West. And I'll show you something else about his name. The Warriors were chasing something he had done 44 years prior. That 28 streak, that 33 streak. All scripted, all by the numbers. And with regards to Game 1 and Game 2, both finishing with 113 points. Remember, Game 1, Matt Barnes for the Warriors put in the 113 points. Matt Barnes, 113. The name Nate Thurmond has gematria of 113, who played with both teams. And again, Mainstream and Dishonest, 113. The woman who was in the car crash with Derek Fisher, which probably never happened. I suspect that there's no accident at all. It's all a made-up story. If they give you some footage of a crash car, understand that they do this stuff all the time. They'll wreck a vehicle for one of their fake rituals. This is nothing to these people. You know, these people control the world. They can do whatever they want. These people are insane. But Matt Barnes is the ex of this woman who was with Derek Fisher, which I'm sure ties in with the ritual. Also this morning, June 5th, we have an Orlando shooting. Is anyone having deja vu? Last year in the NBA Finals, Orlando shooting, the Christina Grimmie killing. Like I was explaining, last year, Orlando, Florida has the gematria of 144 connected to time and killing. We just talked about Derek Fisher, born on the day that leaves 144 days left in the year. Orlando and Florida also have gematria of 38, like death, killing, and murder, as well as finals, as well as Fisher. This is how all of these rituals are orchestrated. There's no shooting in Orlando this morning. This is a hoax. Also in the news, the day after Game 1 of the NBA Finals, man with DeLorean given ticket for driving 88 miles per hour. And if you watch this story, they interview the police officer, the man. I mean, people, wake up. Where would the news ever acquire this information and then take all the time? This is just a contrived bullshit story to mock your ass. The reason this came after Game 1 of the NBA Finals really has everything to do with Back to the Future. Remember, in that film, they time travel at 88 miles per hour in a DeLorean, which is what this is about. And in that film, they get the book that says what all the winning scores are for all the sports championships for years and years ahead. And do you know what this is all about? This is the Zionist Jews who control Hollywood, who control your government, who control your money, who control your entertainment, including your sports leagues, telling you the truth. I've explained it many times before. If you have a brain, if you follow my work, it should be obvious that the only way all of this is possible that I show you is that it was planned out from long ago. I contend that all of these sports leagues were scripted practically almost a century ago. When these leagues were created is when they were all scripted out, including the planning of moving teams, including the birthing of players that are going to fit onto these teams. You have to realize that all of this was structured out so long ago, and that's how it's all being executed. There's no other way to look at this and put it together. You have to realize that it's all a plan. It was planned a long time ago, and it's being achieved. Again, go back to 1884. Moses Walker, the first black baseball player in white major league, way before Jackie Robinson. He played in exactly 42 games. His name was Moses Walker, which equals 42, just like Jackie equals 42. His brother's name, Moses Walker's brother's name, who was also in the league, equals 59. Remember, nigger 42, like slavery. Negro 59, Slave 59, Blues 59, Rasta 59, Jigaboo 59. Motown Records came out in 59. The Civil War ended on 5/9. The Civil War also began on the 102nd day of the year. Slavery also equals 102, like nigger. That's what it is. We're living out the Jewish agenda, all by the numbers. It means planned wars by the numbers, rigged sports by the numbers, and all part of an interconnected show. So right here in the article, when you start to read it, here's the quote from the driver. I saw I was going 85 miles an hour, and I thought I could probably take it up to 88 because of the whole Back to the Future thing. Back to the Future 85 like basketball. This game comes out the day after Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And with regards to 88, been talking about this for more than a year. Last year, the Warriors won 88 total games. Regular season and playoffs, they won their 88th game 88 days after Steph Curry's Pi Day birthday, and Pi Day was a celebration that began in 88. Remember, 88, that number is made out of 4 circles. 4 circles make up the number 88. There's 360 degrees in a circle. 360 times 4 is 1,440, the amount of minutes in a day. See how this has to do with time? 144 represents time. 1,440 minutes in a day. The degrees in 4 circles that make up 88. Time travel at 88. None of this is arbitrary. Numbers, they're for more than just counting. They're symbols. Durant also joined the Warriors 88 days before his 28th birthday. So, a few more notes. DeLorean has gematria of 74. Kevin Durant joined the team on July 4th. On Mother's Day, him and Curry combined for 74 points. Last night, Game 2, at the end of the first quarter, there were 74 combined points. Durant put up the points that made it combined 74. Special numbers. DeLorean also 38, connecting to finals, you know. And this story was in California, where the Warriors are from. The officer, his name is Kevin McGee, which has the same gematria as NBA Finals. Last year, the Caps won 57 games in the regular season. Spencer White is the supposed driver. 64 spaces on the chessboard. 8 times 8 equals 64. Remember, Jewish equals 88. Israel 64. Zion 64. Thelema 64. If it goes to Game 7 this year, think about how Steve Kerr just came back on 6/4. If it goes to Game 7, it'll be Steve Kerr's 64th playoff game. And Stephen Curry in gematria equals 64. Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, 64. Something to think about. Spencer White also has gematria of 62 like Mason. This story came on June 2nd. Mason equals 62, Torah 62. The gematria code connects to Kabbalah, which comes from the Torah. Masonry based in Kabbalism, Kabbalah, Jewish history. I'm going to link all these posts down below. I was looking at the date numerologies of the respective games. Game 5 will be June 12th. Game 5, the Warriors could potentially close out the Cavs this game. They would win the series 4-1 if they did it. And I was just looking at all the things that are interesting about this game. This game's in Oracle Arena. It's on a date with 55 numerology. King James equals 55. Big number. Talked about that number. Talked about that with the 666 goggles that Sean Livingston and Steph Curry put on during Game 2 after they scored their 93rd points. One more time. Saturn equals 93 like Oracle Arena. And Saturn has a relationship with Satan. Satan, 55. If you write out 93, it sums to 55. Think about how basketball is a game of 5-on-5. Satanism is about self-worship. They made the NBA MVP award in 55. putting the self ahead of the team. It's also connected to King James, that number. That date, June 12th, 2017, also a date with 46 numerology. The Cavs won the championship in their 46th season. In the King James Bible from 1611, Psalm 46 leaves 666 chapters remaining in the book. We were talking about the 666 goggles, how they come together with 93 and 55. Comes together in this date too. And it's also a date with 35 numerology, which also connects to King James. The number they have Durant wearing this year, number 35, because his coach died at age 35 from high school. It was a murder by numbers for his career. Happens again and again in this world of rigged, satanic, Zionist Jew sports. Let's also not forget that Game 5 in Gematria sums to 41, like King, like Golden State. Could symbolize the killing of the king. If the Cavs lose in the finals, LeBron James will be 3-5 all time. This game will come on LeBron's 165th day of being 32 years old. Cleveland equals 165, Scottish rites. King James, a Rosicrucian and a Freemason from Scotland. From the start of this season to Game 5 is also 33 weeks. This will be the anniversary of the Orlando shooting. 33 weeks. NBA Finals 33, LeBron 33, James 33, Cleveland 33. Phi equals 33, which is the golden ratio, which is 1.61. If the Warriors win in Game 5, they'll be 16-1 in the playoffs. You see? The golden ratio, the Golden State Warriors. The golden ratio has to do with the Fibonacci sequence. We talked about the number 144. That's the 12th Fibonacci number, 144. Also, June 12th, Game 5 will be the last day that the flag, well, the last day in the NBA Finals. The flag's birthday is June 14th. The next game in the finals is Game 6, June 15th. Game 5 will be the last game where the flag is still 239 years old, that was sewn at 239 Arch Street in Philadelphia. And Andre Iguodala, who's from the Philadelphia 76ers, he was the NBA Finals MVP. The first year the Warriors and Cavs played, tribute to Philadelphia. Look at his name, 239 Andre Iguodala. And you don't think that these players are born and bred and chosen and put on teams accordingly? 239 represents Torah in Jewish Gematria, which is again where the Kabbalah code comes from. Jewish mysticism. Flag 239 years old, sewn at 239 Arch Street in Philadelphia. If the Warriors win the finals, they'll win 83 games total this year. The last time Philadelphia won the championship was 83. 83. And then if you count, this would be the 35th season since. It's 34 years later, or the 35th season, bringing us back to King James. Also, from Steph Curry's birthday, his Pi Day birthday, where I said watch more than weeks before the game was played. I said watch Steph Curry score 29 points on his 29th birthday on Pi Day, and sure enough he did. The number that the season began with, the Warriors losing by 29, the Cavs winning by 29. From his birthday to Game 5 is 90 days. Golden State Warriors 90. When you write out 90, it sums to 33, like Stephen or Steven, Golden State abbreviated. Again, plus all the other 33. That's also 33 weeks from the start of the season. Phi equals 33, the golden ratio. Golden State Warriors, golden ratio. Game 6, here's the numerology. Some interesting things pop out there too. Game 7 though, which, man, if you put a gun to my head and said, Zach, do you think it's going to go to Game 5 or Game 7? I still think they're going to take this to Game 7. We might see some major symbolism in Game 5, but Game 7 is just too ripe. It is just too ripe. It's on a date with 61 numerology, just like it was last year. Finals 61, Ohio 61, time 61. Again, Steph Curry and LeBron James, both born in the same hospital in Ohio. You might recall last year, Game 7, both teams came in with 610 combined points. That's the 15th Fibonacci number. If you write out 15 as a word, it sums to 38 like finals. It's also a date with 52 numerology, number of prophecy. Date with 25 numerology like finals. Again, if the West wins, it'll be the 25th championship of the modern era. Also a date with 41 numerology, King 41, Golden State 41. They said game 1 of these NBA finals was LeBron James's 41st playoff game. Which means that Game 7 would be his 47th in the 47th season of the Cavs on this date. And with regards to 47, we did see the Warriors winning Game 2, the series with 47 numerology. So don't forget that, because that's a huge number on this. Again, Game 1 finishes Warriors 113 points. Then Cavs lose in Game 2 with 113 points. Thurmond had his jersey retired with both teams. Dead in the offseason after both teams had won back-to-back against each other. 1-1-3. King James made a king. July 24th, 1567. King of Scotland. Date with 113 numerology. These numbers are not arbitrary. Been educating about 113 for so long. And with regards to 132, I explained this series has a lot to do with the presidency. There's 132 rooms at the White House. 132. United States of America, 132. England, 132. Catholic Church, 132. This has to do with our history. D.C. used to be the Catholic colony. King James was born Catholic, raised Protestant. And let's not forget that King James was made a Freemason at age 35. King James 35, just like Catholic. The Catholics have the Jesuit order within their church. And just look at these numbers. Catholic 35 and 46. If you know your history, you know JFK is the only Catholic president, number 35, killed at age 46. And if you know my work, JFK and RFK died by the exact same numbers. Look at his brother RFK, 35 and 46. Dead at 1:44 in the morning. 144. Our number having to do with time and killing. Sagittarius, 144. JFK dead on the first day of Sagittarius. Notice the 153 as well. Jesuit order, 144, 153 within the Catholic Church. Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason. All interconnected. So again, last point, just to make sure this is clear. Steve Kerr came back June 4th by the numbers. Got a long video on it. Lots of information you need to know. His name, Steve Kerr, is a lot like the star player Stephen Curry, which equals 64. If Steve Kerr goes to Game 7, it'll be his 64th playoff game of his career. Last night, Steph Curry at the free throw line scored the 35th points for Golden State. After this, he hit the free throw, making it 35-29. 29. 64 total points. Stephen Curry, right here, Stephen 33, add on the Curry, 64. Notice how Curry's 85 like basketball, like Boston, who leads the league. LeBron James closed out Boston 85 days after losing his lone game to him in the regular season. Anyway, Curry put in the 64th points last night. They show this after the game. Stephen Curry, Stephen Kerr. I mean, it's just all right in front of your face. Just how ridiculous this all is. If only people knew gematria, then they'd really see through it. Iguodala also last night scored the 64th points for the Warriors. Again, originally from Philadelphia. Philadelphia 76ers. Warriors used to be the Philadelphia Warriors. Just look at the numbers, Truth Seeker. 1112. That's the number of the Zionist theater show. Zionist 112. Notice the 77 as I do this too. Judaism. Whoops. Judaism, 77-112. And so is theater. Remember when they told you that Steph Curry hit 77 three-pointers in a row in practice? With the magnets on, he did. And if you guys can't see that these games are scripted and the ball's getting sucked into the rim and it doesn't even look organic, I mean, you just don't have eyes to see. The shots, you can just see the technology. The magnets were on hardcore last night for the Warriors. Every single one of Durant's shots, you could see it getting sucked into the rim. If you go and watch in slow motion, if you record the game, just watch the shots in slow. You can see that a lot of Durant's shots. Just look at the arc. I mean, if you play basketball, you can see that a lot of his shots, they're going to land short. They're going to hit the front iron. But you can see how they get sucked in. The technology is very real in the NBA, you know? I don't know how they do it, but it's clear that they're doing it. You just see the unnatural motion of these balls. And again, for all these games to be scripted to the point, it's the only way to keep it so perfect. But here it is. Just one more proof of the scripting and the rituals that go on in these leagues and the shaming. And I do want to make a point about this. There's something deeper about this. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. Here's a real thing in our culture. Black people in our society are taught that, you know, they live in a racist world, which is absolutely true. But they're taught this in a way so that they can make excuses for themselves. And they can think, well, I can't achieve because I live in this racist world and, you know, I'm a victim of this world. And that mentality will keep anyone down who has it. And watch. Watch if LeBron loses these finals. I already see the storylines if LeBron loses. They're going to say the racism at his house, you know, it probably knocked him off his game. You know, he didn't play as well. It got to him psychologically. The hate in this country. We have this racist, ridiculous president. Remember the riddle with that? Donald Trump at his convention in the Cavs building, the Quicken Loans Arena. Remember the Easter Day shooting where they showed that the shooter, he went and tapped the Cavs arena before he went and killed this Robert Godwin at age 74? All a hoax, all ritual, all fake news to go with the fake playoffs. I said that day that was proof that the Eastern Conference Finals would be Cavs over Celtics. But anyway, all of this programming, it's for a reason. And it is meant to impact the mind's eye of the masses. That's what it's all about. It's all about your mind's eye. That's what all this 35 really goes to. King James, Catholic, religion. And that's what this story is about, you know. We all know about racism in America. And it's always used to give people an excuse. A scapegoat. Something to blame. I'll show you something about the word blame. The word blame has gematria of 33, just like scapegoat. Did you know in Judaism this is a real practice? In Judaism, there's really such a thing as a scapegoat. What you do is you go out somewhere and you take someone who's suffering from something. You might believe that they're possessed by demons. They're having all these problems in their life. What you do is you go out with the person and the goat and you murder the goat. You kill the goat. And then you believe, the belief is that it takes away the problems that the person's having. Goes with the goat. You know, I got a video from 2015 showing why the Broncos were going to beat the Panthers, and I did that all off of a bogus news story out of Los Angeles where supposedly a car crashed, a Jewish driver, single car accident. Supposedly he was ejected out of his rear window, not his front windshield, ejected out of his rear window. Just imagine as a driver, how do you fly through your back seat, out of your rear window, and not only that, how does your body land on top of a freeway sign? In the case of that story, it landed on Colorado Street, and everything about it coded Denver Broncos. You see? The Super Bowl that year was in California, hosted by the 49ers. If you read the story, though, they said the Jewish man was having all these problems, and they'd just done a goat sacrifice ritual for him. Go back and read the story. This is why your league is what it is. A rigged, ridiculous show by the numbers, so transparent to see with anyone with eyes to see. It's all a Jewish mocking. Until next time.